Nigerians in diaspora. Recall that a few months ago I raised my voice on the issue of xenophobia and urged that the federal government create additional airlifting opportunities to evacuate our citizens who are stranded in South Africa. Informed that Sunday, December 1, 2019, over 600 shops belonging to foreign traders, particularly Nigerians, at the Kwame Nkrumah Circle, Ghana, were locked up by members of the Ghana Union of Traders Association. Also informed that this is not the first time the quest to rid the Ghanaian market of foreign traders who are engaging in retail businesses has occurred. There was a case last month where Ghanaian traders at Opera Square in Accra locked up shops belonging to foreign nationals involved in retail business. Most of the shops were believed to belong to Nigerians. There was also a case in August last year where the Intergovernmental Task Force constituted by the government of Ghana, in its bid to regulate retail trade, arrested and detained 37 Nigerian traders and locked up about 10 shops in Tiptoe Lane at the Kwame Nkrumah Circle due to the failure of the traders concerned that the recent attack on Nigerian traders would become another xenophobia attack with loss of lives, as GOTA has decided to take laws into their hands because, according to them, the government has failed to enforce the Ghana Investment Promotion Center Act 2013, 865, Article 27 and 28, which bars foreigners from doing retail business in Ghana. Further concerned that in 2018, the enforcement of the Quick Notice Initiative commenced, and it was properly communicated by the Ghanaian Minister for Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration, Ms. Shirley Ayokobochi, that this GIP law would not affect Nigerians or other ECOWAS citizens. However, the National Association of Nigerian Traders warned the minister that the law could spark xenophobic attacks from ignorant persons, but she assured the union that the Ghanaian government is ensuring that there is an understanding among Ghanaian traders that the Quick Notice Initiative has nothing to do with Nigerians and other ECOWAS traders, and that Nigerians should in no way interpret the issue as a future xenophobia against Nigerian traders. Aware that on December 2, 2019, the Ghanaian police, in a bid to control the mayhem, used firearms and fired shots to control the crowd. Some arrests were made and detainees are currently undergoing further investigations at the police headquarters. Be further aware that according to the president of Nigerian Union of Traders in Ghana, Mr. Chukwuemeka Levi Nanji, mentioned that Nigerian traders were physically attacked on December 2, 2019. The claim is that the Ghana Union of Traders Association used the Ghanaian police force to lock up the shops on the 9th of December 1, 2019. And when the Nigerian traders realized in the morning of December 2nd that their shops were locked up and decided to break the padlock, the Ghanaian traders were agitated and attacked the Nigerian traders. Concerned that these attacks on Nigerians could be as a result of President Muhammadu Buhari's declaration in August on the closure of all land borders in order to prevent illegal imports into our country, which is a good initiative in the bid to protect the economic sanity of our country, Nigeria. Note that the recent attacks have resulted in several injuries and arrests. However, the Ghanaian officials and police force have called on all traders to call off the forced closure and blockades in streets, believing that any clampdown could cause more havoc and strain the relationship with Nigeria. Resolve 2, mandate the Nigerian Diaspora Commission, Federal Ministry of Foreign Affairs, alongside the Committee on Diaspora Matters and Committee on Foreign Affairs, to urgently consider and investigate the recent developments among traders in Ghana and act proactively to ensure that another xenophobia attack on Nigerians is prevented. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The Chairman, Foreign Affairs.
Over the weekend, I got a call that Nigerian shops in Ghana were locked up. I went further to call the chairman of the Traders Association, Nigerian Traders Association in Ghana, and his name is Mr. Chukwuemeka Levi Naji. And I spoke to him because I wanted to hear firsthand. And then I also called a few friends who reside in Ghana, both Nigerians and Ghanaians, and I realized that we need to nip this in the bud very quickly before it gets out of hand. Nigeria is an ECOWAS country. ECOWAS country, the law that was passed in Ghana, what was the name of that law now? What's it called? It was the GIPC law, 865, Article 2728 of 2013, that made it illegal for foreigners to own shops or to have retail trade. The Ghanaian government had made it clear that this does not apply to member states of ECOWAS. Nigeria is a member state of ECOWAS. So the shops of Nigerians in Ghana should be left out of any lockups. The shops of other African countries that are under ECOWAS should be left out of any lockups. But when the police come into it, shops are locked up, people get injured. It's very worrisome for me as chairperson diaspora. The other day there was a video I saw. Also, at the time I saw the video, I didn't know what it was because it was too gory for me to look at. But then after I heard what happened in Ghana, something now told me to go back and listen to that video. And apparently it was French language that was being spoken. Apparently, I do not know for a fact, because we do have a lot of fake news on social media as well. But the fake part could be that it was Nigerians that were cut up. Human beings had been cut up, chopped up. And they continued to chop the bodies. These people were already dead. They cut off heads, they were kicking the heads, even if they're not Nigerians. This is a crime against humanity. And we, as African countries, we need to work together to stem this hate that is brewing in our midst. We all knew what happened in Rwanda, said some years ago, where neighbors were killing neighbors. If we don't nip this in the bud, the African countries need to come together urgently and put a stop to it, because this will destabilize Africa. If this is allowed to go on unstemmed, this will destroy Africa. Our border closure was a necessity to save the economy of Nigeria. When you look at a situation where countries far away, countries that you will travel 2 days to get to, are agitating for us to open our borders, why not ship whatever is coming from there direct to the seaports? Why are you asking that we open our land borders? Now, the borders were closed, not against ECOWAS products. The borders were closed against foreign products that land in an ECOWAS country and are now moved into Nigeria, and there's no duty paid, one. But apart from the duty, which is what everybody's focusing on, there's the implication that these products that come in have on our industries here in Nigeria. Rice, for example. The rice that was coming in was killing our agricultural, what do I call it? Our agricultural products. You have chicken coming in. And most times these products that come in are even substandard. There's a health implication. There's the economic implication. Nigeria had to take a stand. Arms and ammunition are coming through these borders. Until a solution is agreed between the countries we share a border with, that they too will stem allowing the illegality that was going on at the borders. The borders, I'm sure, Mr. President, will keep closed.
But I think in the case of Ghana, they produce one alcohol called Aloma bitters, and that they have lost a lot of money, maybe $2 million. So they're saying they produce it in their country, it's produced in West Africa. Why don't they allow things like Aloma bitters come to Nigeria?
Now, I will not tell you authoritatively on that. It's data that they claim, that they're making losses. Okay. Nigeria is working out a means and a way to secure our borders better. What I would just say is implore the other African nations that are genuine traders with Nigeria to bear with us until these issues are ironed out. But I am sure that once that is done, West African products will come into Nigeria. Nigerian products will go to West Africa. But that does not justify violence. That does just not justify the closure of Nigerian retail outlets in Ghana. Nigeria did not close down the outlets, Ghanaian retail outlets in Nigeria. And there are a lot of Ghanaians here in Nigeria who trade. You know, we don't see each other as strangers. There was a Ghanaian recently here in Nigeria who was a lesson teacher who had a stroke. I personally financed his treatment. I personally paid for his wife to come to Nigeria and look after him. And then when they realized that it was going to be a long time recovery, I paid for him to be relocated to Ghana. I didn't say he's not a Nigerian teacher, so he should wallow in his misery. No.
So what word do you have for the Ghanaian police and the traders who you say are maltreating Nigerians?
I didn't use the word maltreat.
You said...
I said they're closing the shops.
The Ghanaian police are like collaborating with the traders, right?
That's what has been presented. And that's how it's been presented. Because what's been presented is that it was the Ghanaian police that allowed them and helped them to lock up the shops. But guys, I wasn't there. So I cannot say authoritatively that that is what happened. But what I'm just going to say is that for the growth of Africa, Africa must see itself as one. Africa must work together to take Africa higher. Africa must trade with Africa. We must do exchange in education. We must do exchange in industry. We must help each other in socio-economic development. Africa is one. And until we continue to believe that and live that way, Africa will not make the mark that Africa needs to make on the world. So what I will say to the Ghanaian police is, the Nigerian is your brother. The Togolese is your brother. Let us look at issues and deal with issues, not on what country you're from in Africa, but on what value you've come to add in whatever country you reside.